Hello, I'm Dr. David Milgram. The 7 keys to self-empowerment may be used individually, sequentially, cumulatively, and/or simultaneously. In 7 Herbs, Matthew Wood describes the plant Easter lily with its very spiritual and yet sensual quality, polarity and opposites. He describes how the experience of people relating to their energy body is really very often that of the nun-whore syndrome. Feeling worthy and feeling unworthy. Feeling worthy and then again feeling unworthy. The contrarium of opposites, he called the nun-whore syndrome. This pattern is basically about self-worth, self-love in its essence. The primary way that we experience our energy body is through a brain center called the pineal gland. The pineal gland is different than every other gland in the body in that it has 2 tissues, soft like the rest of the brain, and hard. The tissues around the pineal gland are actual hydroxyapatite crystals. So everyone actually has a crystal in their skull, and it surrounds their pineal gland. Again, the pineal is the spiritual sensing organ of the human being that lets it know what is going on within the energy field. The primary way that we experience the energy body is through our feelings, the attention mode of energetic body is through our own feelings. I met a man many years ago who said, "Life is an inside job, kid. Everybody's going out tonight," he'd say. "They're all looking for a good time. They all want to be happy. I want to meet the right person to make them happy, but nobody can make them happy if they're not happy inside. Everybody wants to go where it's warm and sunny," he'd say. "Sure, go where it's warm and sunny. Inside. Everyone wants to get rich. Yeah, get rich," he'd say. Inside. Life is an inside job. If we were to read all the banned books in the Library of Alexandria that were burned, we would learn nothing so important as what the ancient Greeks talked about when they said, "Know thyself." This is the basis of the first key, to tune in, to know thyself, to give oneself opportunity to embrace and engender wisdom, potentially, within the energy body. I call this energetic of receiving oneself, going with yin, being in touch with the divine feminine. You know, sometimes people say, "Oh, just be happy, just feel good." Sometimes it's not really the time for that. Sometimes it's just the time to be real. One thing I've learned over the years in working with thousands of people in healing is that a really good goal, even better than happiness, many times a much better goal is to just strive for neutrality, just strive to be in divine neutral. And when we can let ourselves and get ourselves into divine neutral through listening, through receptivity, receiving the divine feminine within us, we can find that balance and peace flowing within our energy field. So really the dominant energetic of this first key of tuning in is right use of space. The core issue that generally gets in our way of going with yin in a centrifugal direction is oftentimes not valuing the self and holding on strong to self-judgment and negative feelings. The primary mode of healing with tuning in is really softening. To soften to your own self, to your inner being, to the spirit within you. This is the very primary aspect of healing that I believe precedes all other aspects of healing. Each one of the 7 keys has a command. The command of the first key of tuning in is please. Please. Please to Spirit, to Great Spirit, to God, whatever you want to call her or him. The first attitude to take to engender gratitude is to say please, to remember to say thank you for what you already have, but to also remember to say please in relation to what you're asking for now. This is where we grasp the seed of transformation. Each one of the 7 keys to self-empowerment has 7 levels within it. I relate those 7 levels to the 7 aspects of a plant's growth and development: the root, the stem, the branch, the leaf, the flower, the fruit, and the seeds. In the first key to self-empowerment, the root is tuning in, going with yin. Tuning in is where we open the door to really find our energetic ground. The second level of the first key to self-empowerment is allowing receptivity to our feelings. This is where we really grasp the seed of spiritual transformation. The third level of the first key, I relate to the branches of a plant's development. I call this alignment. In alignment of the body, the mind, or the spirit is where we really open the door to be able to choose to augment our mental potential for healing. The fourth level of the first key, I relate to the leaves of a plant. This is where the real energy transformation occurs within the leaves. I call this relaxation, as in there is no real healing without the leaves of relaxation being turned over. The fifth level of the first key, I call the flower. I relate this to inner trust, the resonance of vibrating with the energy of one's true spirit, inner trust being a major key to bridge the various aspects of our being. The sixth level of the first key of honoring the energy body, I relate to the fruits of the plant. The fruits of honoring the energy body is to receive your own sacred space. The seventh level of the first key, I relate to the seed of a plant. I call this the wisdom. This is where we get completely in touch with the internal, intuitive, divine feminine wisdom. When we fill ourselves with the divine feminine wisdom, we feel more Buddha full. Each level of each key is a filter for the next. Each level is harmonized by the one before it and is fulfilled by the one after it. For example, inner trust is harmonized by having the foundation of relaxation and is fulfilled by receiving sacred space, as in, there is no real receiving of deep sacred space without first engendering relaxation. In a similar way, inner trust is the foundation for receiving sacred space, which is the foundation for our ability to access and utilize our inner intuitive wisdom. The first key is really about gaining a foothold within our own energetic field, giving ourselves an energetic opportunity to grasp the seed that may transform us, illuminate us, and potentially create healing on many levels. I look forward to seeing you at the upcoming Positive Body Language seminars.